Let me start off by asking you a situational question. Let's say that you are working for a company making $15 an hour. At your job, you've been working very hard on a project and are becoming very good at it. At the end of the year, you nail the project and the company makes $30 million off of it. Your boss comes up and tells you good job and that's it. You receive no extra compensation, no commission, and no promotion. You have put in all that hard work and got nothing but the $15 an hour you were promised when you were hired in. The company you work for has taken advantage of your talents, and you are not receiving much for it. How would you feel? Would you feel that you have been exploited? This is how college athletes feel at the end of a successful season. They have put hours of practice in, taking their teams to bowl games or the Final Four, and even coming out as a top team in the nation, winning their school millions of dollars, but only receiving the scholarship they were awarded at the beginning of the college career. Yes, there is a satisfaction of being the best at the sport they love, but why should the universities benefit so much and the athletes so little? Many of these students that make the college sports teams dedicate 100% of their time and effort to the sport and their education so they can play in every practice and every game. But they do not have the time to go out and get a job. Zero income, but working just as hard, if not harder, as students with paying jobs. Some people who oppose paying athletes money believe that a scholarship is more than enough compensation for what they do. A scholarship is a great award that gives the opportunity of an education, which, from the audience analysis, is the most important thing to have for many of you. Many students that have become major athletes at big-name universities receive a full-ride scholarship that include not only tuition for classes, but also enough money for room and board. According to Dennis Johnson, the scholarships can range from $30,000 to $200,000. Another common opposing argument is that giving scholarships as compensation will lead to well-educated students. The idea is that students will continue to stay students and not turn into paid faculty. Allowing scholarships to be the only award given allows smaller schools to compete with the larger schools. Any school can award a full-ride scholarship to a deserving student, but smaller schools will not have the money to pay athletes on the side, knocking some schools out of the competition. Also, getting an education should be the main focus because playing a sport in college does not automatically mean playing in the NFL or NBA. Even if going pro is a student's dream, they have education as a backup plan to allow them to succeed in life in some other way. According to Joe Nocera, in 2011, $53.4 million was given to the 15 highest paid NCAA football coaches. Urban Meyer, once head coach of the Florida Gators, signed a deal 2 years ago for $24 million over 6 years to coach at Ohio State. Nocera also says that college basketball and football bring in over $6 billion of revenue a year. College athletes are being exploited and it is unfair to them. An article, Sound Off Paying Athletes in College, says that the athletes do not have enough time to work for cash on the side. I, myself, am a college student that attends school full-time and have a part-time job working 20 hours a week. Many players practice every single day, have class Monday through Friday, and games on the weekends. They also need time to travel for games and that are far away, and athletes also are required to go to school full-time and keep their grades up. Doing all this and trying to get a job would be extremely difficult, and most jobs probably would not even hire someone with such low availability. They could try to work weekday nights, but that would probably cut into their homework or study time or even their sleep time. Even though scholarships pay for tuition and room and board, they do not cover all the expenses of college. They need money to travel to and from school so they can visit family and friends, since most college athletes are going to go to school far away from where they grew up. They also need money for books and food. Since we are all students, we should know how impossible some classes would be without the textbook, a calculator, or any other requirements classes have. Athletes also need food, not only to live, but also to keep up with their heavy workouts. Dennis Johnson says that the amount that athletes need on top of their scholarships is between $2,000 and $3,000. Getting paid on top of the scholarships athletes are awarded can cover the extra expenses that college brings. Louis Barbash says that the college athletes also run the risk of being injured and ruining the chance of a professional career. After they're injured, any chance that they would have of making money from playing professionally is already over. College athletes, scholarships or not, do not have enough money to pay for all the expenses of college. These athletes are also being exploited and gaining money that goes towards their university. Therefore, they should be getting some kind of payment along with the scholarship. The athletes deserve some compensation for what they win for their school. According to Nancy Armour, there was an antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA by former players because they did not receive proper compensation. proper compensation or how much the players should be paid differs. Some people think that college athletes should be paid the same. I believe that the athletes that are making the most for their university should be paid the most. It is similar to the people that work on commission. The more they sell, the more they can make. In this situation, the better the athlete performs, the more money they can make. College athletes should be paid and receive compensation for what they do. The scholarships that the athletes are awarded do not cover all the expenses of college education. The players are also being exploited by the universities, and the schools are making too much money off the players. Finally, the players that win the games and perform the best should be paid the most. Just think of it this way. Would you want to go to school full time, work hard every single day, but not get paid enough to buy your own textbooks or food?